The Toronto Blue Jays have signed some rotation depth to their roster and have been more involved in Alex Reyes rumors as of late. A contract has been offered by Toronto, according to some sources, so we'll break that down and much more on this episode of Jays Digest. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. Lots to get into today. We want to thank you all for the support. It's continued into the new year as we thought it would, and we could not be more thankful for all of you guys in the comments voicing your opinions and being respectful as well.
Yeah, it's been great, and make sure to hit the subscribe button if you like daily Jays content. But let's just get right into the first topic of the video, which is the Blue Jays signed their former opening day starter. And I'm sure most of you guys know based on the thumbnail, and if you've seen the reports, Drew Hutchinson. I'll pop up the report now. Blue Jays signed Drew Hutchinson to a minor league deal per team. Deal includes an invite to spring training, who was the Jays' opening day starter back in 2015. So, Peter, do you have any, and obviously it's probably just going to be depth, but do you have any initial thoughts on this signing, or maybe what you, if you remember anything from him way back when he used to pitch for us?
Oh yeah, I remember him, and I mean 2015. That was the start of something special for the Toronto Blue Jays. Like they were kind of a 500 team for the first half of the season. We didn't know where they were going to be going, and then they just kind of turned it around. They traded for David Price, they traded for Troy Tulowitzki, and everything started to roll for the Toronto Blue Jays. But Drew Hutchinson, I mean, I don't know how much he's going to offer to the Toronto Blue Jays in this season. Probably not much is going to be my guess, but he's a better depth piece than, let's say, Casey Lawrence or a Thomas Hatch. So he's a proven veteran guy, always been a mid-tier level starter, never really reached that ace, not ace potential, but like ace level that some Jays fans maybe thought of him. But yeah, he's a better depth piece than what the Jays have right now in AAA, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, he is a depth piece, and he pitched recently. Had a pretty good ERA, I believe, in 2021 as a reliever, I think. But I don't know. It's a very interesting signing. A couple more screenshots for you guys. Some Shy Davidi says Blue Jays building out their depth, announced the signings of 5 players in minor league deals, including 2015 opening day starter Drew Hutchinson. They also signed, you mentioned him, which is kind of funny, Casey Lawrence back for another year, catcher Rob Brantley, Julian Fernandez, who we've touched on, and Paul Fry. Paul Fry is an interesting note as well. We might have a touch on him in a video in the future. He's a lefty reliever. I also post this, which just found this pretty funny. Drew Hutchinson was the opening day starter in the season that broke the 22-year playoff drought, and now he's back on a minor league deal. And like you said, he's more so depth than anything else, and I don't think he makes the roster. I think we just have too many players in our bullpen, especially with a player we're going to talk about shortly, Alex Reyes. There doesn't seem to be much room in the bullpen for players like him unless he just shines in spring training.
Oh, maybe he wins that fifth starter spot as well.
Yeah,
Like we gotta keep that in mind because right now, who's slotted in there? It's Yusei Kikuchi
yeah.
and or Mitch White. Probably Yusei Kikuchi. Now, if Kikuchi struggles in the spring, can't get guys out, is walking the ballpark, and Drew Hutchinson comes in and provides a little relief. He's keeping the ball in the ballpark, throwing strikes. That's all you can ask of him. Then maybe he's got a legitimate chance to win that starter role. Now, Drew Hutchinson, take this as you may, but he's projected to throw 100 innings in 2023. That's his baseball reference projection. Now, whether those are accurate or not remains to be seen. They're usually not accurate. But if Drew Hutchinson throws 100 innings for the Toronto Blue Jays, that means he's pitching well. So, well, I'll take it.
Yeah, and there is a possibility that happens, especially with injuries. Maybe he's kind of the guy who might step in because he's had success in the past. Obviously, like you said, not ace level success, but he's had some degrees of success, especially as recent, I believe, 2021. But I don't know. Let us know in your comments what your thoughts are on him, and we'll move into the next topic now, which is about Alex Reyes and the Blue Jays potentially signing him. Now, we had a video on him, I think about a week or so back, showing his baseball savant and all that good stuff, but I'll just pop up this tweet from, that's the wrong tweet. That's a bit of a sneak peek. But this is from Jay's kid, Lewis. It said, the Blue Jays had recent conversations with Alex Reyes. I believe they've made an offer. Quick reminder that I'm not an insider. Sometimes I just hear things. He's a pitcher. He's gotten some things right in the past. What are your thoughts on, I know we discussed it prior, but maybe the fact that we made an offer on Alex Reyes, according to him, is a really good sign for me. I kind of want him a lot.
First of all, shout out to Lewis.
Yeah.
Keep grinding, keep doing your thing, man. Let's see a young ball player making strides. The guy can pitch, man. He can
Yeah.
really throw. He can hum that thing in there. But we don't know. We don't know what kind of sources that he has. We spoke to him privately as well, and he says he's not exactly sure of his source, but he is confident that the Blue
Yep.
Jays have made an offer, and that's good news. And it just leads me to believe, like, what's next for the guys that they just signed, whether it be Julian Fernandez, Junior Fernandez as well, two fireballers, kind of similar to Alex Reyes in a sense, where you don't necessarily know what you're going to get from them, but if you do get Alex Reyes, then you got to believe that he's slotting into your bullpen over those guys because he has had success at the major league level. Now, I'm curious to see what that offer is looking like, whether there is an offer or not. But it's definitely interesting to see that the Jays are not content with the moves that they've made, and they want to keep adding pieces to their roster.
Yeah, and you'd think if we get Alex Reyes or if he signs the deal, that he would be, like you said, he would be the guy who goes in. But maybe signing the two Fernandezes, I guess, or maybe that's just insurance in case we don't get Reyes or Reyes doesn't accept the deal. But like you said, it's almost certain that Reyes would slot in, especially over Junior or Julian, whatever one doesn't have options left.
Either of
Either
them,
of them,
either
yeah,
of them.
either of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it'd be very, very interesting. And like we've shown you in the past, I don't have it here for you today, but Reyes' baseball savant was off the charts when he last pitched in 2021. But obviously, if coming off of injury, you never really know how he's going to do. And you can never have enough fireballers in the bullpen. And yeah, shout out to Lewis. I keep picking this shot. Shout out to Lewis. They made an offer. I don't know. Do you have any predictions of what the offer could potentially be? Maybe like a 1 year, 6 million, 7 million. I feel like that might be reasonable. Maybe.
Yes, something like that. I think the Cardinals, if I'm not mistaken, one of the comments pointed it out to me, and shout out to them, whoever that was. But the Cardinals had a chance to pick up an option for a year, 3.5 million, and they didn't do it.
Mm,
Now, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if the Jays could get him for under 5 million. That would be an absolute shock to me. But I think 1 year, 5 million, 7 million sounds about right to me. And like you said, he's coming off an injury, so this is a prove it year for him. Guy throws real hard, but he's got walk issues, and before he gets that sorted out, he won't be a high leverage reliever on any contending team.
yeah, I'm surprised the Cardinals didn't pick up the 1 year, 3.5. Maybe that goes to show. I don't know. Maybe his injury is worse than, or they don't, have any faith in a bounce back. But it'll be very, very interesting to see, and hopefully, maybe we sign him and he does some great things. But we'll get into the final topic now, which is a quick Trevor Bauer update. I know a lot of you guys in the comments and the Discord have been talking about Trevor Bauer, wanting us to speak on Trevor Bauer. And I guess before we even get into the screenshots, I don't want him on the Blue Jays, and I think there's a very, very low chance that he goes to the Blue Jays. I think it's as close to zero as you can get, especially with Roberto Osuna thing. Do you have any? I'll let you touch before we get into any screenshots about the facts about his suspension and stuff like that.
Well, the truth is, we don't know about the situation, so we're not. I guess we're not educated to talk on the situation itself. But all I can say is that the Toronto Blue Jays have a history of building a high character, um, just general good atmosphere of a ball club. Like they don't go after guys with shoddy pasts. They tend to stay away from guys like that, and I expect no different in this situation. I don't want Trevor Bauer on the Toronto Blue Jays because it'll just mess up chemistry. And they've built something special in this group. A bunch of guys that like one another, that want to play for their manager. That'll do anything it takes to win. And you don't want any outside noise or distraction interfering with that. And it's exactly what Trevor Bauer would be. Like I said, we're not educated to speak on the situation. We don't know where it's at legally right now, so we're just not going to talk further on it. But as for me, I don't want Trevor Bauer. I think it'll just mess up whatever the Blue Jays have going over here, and to no for me.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll just pop a couple screenshots here. The Dodgers officially DFA'd Trevor Bauer. This is MLB. He said that the Jays are expected to have interest. This source, I know a lot of people were talking about that. It's not. I don't believe this one's true. The Jays, I don't believe have interest. I've talked to a couple people who know a bit more. That's what I'll say. Know a bit more than him, and there's no interest there. And this was his statement. We're not going to read into it. He's basically just said that he was surprised he got DFA'd and he's disappointed. He appreciates the wealth of support he sees from David Clubhouse. I wish all the best and look forward to the future. But yeah, from a Jay standpoint, I don't think I'm pretty confident that that's what I'll say is that he's not going to be a Blue Jay. And for all you asking, we don't think he's going to be a Blue Jay. And I think it's just best to avoid that situation from the front office standpoint. It just makes more sense, especially because we have so many other options that I think we're pursuing now.
And like we see it a lot in professional sports, you know, great athletes get a second chance despite what they've done in the past. And I'll give the example of the Cleveland Browns signing Deshaun Watson after all those accusations that he had hanging over his head. And not only does that damage your current roster, it damages your fan base as well. How can you tell a young girl to be a fan of the Cleveland Browns after what they've done, you know, after signing Deshaun Watson to a record-breaking deal, you know, so I feel like this is a similar situation, and you just don't want to get involved in it. I feel like someone will give Trevor Bauer a second chance, but I really, really don't want it to be the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, and again, we don't know the actual facts about. Really hard. No one really knows the true facts about this, but like you said, just best to avoid it. And it's just better for everyone, especially. And I know a lot of Jays fans personally that are saying like if they sign Trevor Bauer, they won't be they won't be a Jays fan anymore. I've seen that on Twitter as well, and I'm kind of I just let's just avoid it. And great pitcher, yes,
Yeah.
but it's similar to Osuna thing. Bit of a Jay's just not going to do anything with it. But I think that'll wrap it up. Do you have any final thoughts, or you good to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thank you for all the support. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and see you tomorrow.